Boom. Camera's here. We're good to go. Had a little tough technical difficulties, but we're good to go today. My computer has just been annoying all week, to be honest. Let me get ready for the market open. I'm setting the timer right now. It's probably going to be a little late off time. But you know what? That's okay. At least we're here. We showed up. That's what matters. All that matters is you showed up. I'm not sure how many people are going to be here before the market open because I'm starting literally a minute before. But that's okay because you got to show up. You gotta show up. All right, the market's green pre-market. Things are going pretty decently in the pre-market. We're going to see how it ultimately reacts. So I want to talk about Mark Zuckerberg's interview that he did with Jim Cramer because that was a fun little interview where he talked about some stuff. And then we're going to talk about some other things as well in regards to United, Tesla, etc., etc. All right, here we go. Wow, 36 people here already. Okay. Ready? The market is open. Boom. Market open. Wake your ass up. Here we go. It's going to be a little late on the delay. The delay is the delayed delay, but there it is. Yes, can't wait for the bell today. Let's go. Richard, we're live. Uriel, good morning. Did you get some sleep, buddy? I did get some sleep. Slept a little late, but I did get some sleep. Morning, Amit. More cowbell fetish. Good morning. Good morning. Here we are. The market is indeed open. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Zoom 115 up about 1%. S&P 500 376 up about 0.5%. Palantir doing pretty nice. I woke up and I checked my phone in the pre-market. Palantir was doing pretty amazing. 1.65 in the pre-market. Going to work late so to watch market open with you, bro. That's that means that's so cool. Thank you. I hope nothing bad happens at work because you're watching it open with me. But that's awesome. Thank you for being here. It means the world. Spotify at 100, ARK at 40. Look, this is a pretty boring market. I'm not gonna lie. Nothing has changed really since yesterday. Like Palantir was at like 9.13 yesterday. It's at kind of the same. It barely went down after I closed the market open. I mean, there's like a little bit of a dip and it just came right back. Zoom 116, Spotify, QQQ 283. So QQQ's beating the 280 level, which it was kind of stuck at for a little bit. SPY still at the 370 level. If SPY beats 380, we're looking at something that's a little bit more, I guess you would say bullish. Because 387 gets us, 386 gets us out of a technical bull market. 385 is a bull market, or like 382 or something is a bull market. I'm sorry, a bear market, not bull market, bear market. But we'll talk more about that. Good morning, man. Any thoughts? Video coming on the recent BuzzFeed TikTok article. I have a lot of thoughts on this. I will give some thoughts on it today. Actually, we'll talk about it, and we will discuss what's going on with that. Mark Zuckerberg just did an interview as well, so we'll talk about his recent thoughts around TikTok and stuff, and we'll go there. It's green. That is not a boring market. We have had 16 weeks of nonstop red. Well, the reason I'm saying it's boring is because it's like a flat green from yesterday. Like NEO was 22 yesterday. That's what I mean. Like it's good that it's green. It's just kind of boring because it's like not super green. It's just kind of staying the way. Like Coinbase was 52 yesterday, right? Like nothing changed too much. Up 3%. That's all right. Snowflake 134. But yes, I agree. It is a green market and we've had nonstop red. Can you believe, guys? It's almost July 2022, 7 months into the new year, and all we've had is nonstop red. All we've had is to deal with just pain. Just straight up pain. Let me tweet that I'm live right now. Live now, market open. All right, that's out there. Big up and hello from China, bro. Alex, what's up, bro? From China. That's amazing. When Palantir hits, you can afford someone to do the bell for you each morning. New show called Walking with Amit. Bro, there's going to be oh, by the way, I have to tell you guys some stuff. I have to tell you guys some stuff about my startup. I'll tell you guys some stuff in a second. You guys are asking about money talks. Look, I hate to be the one to tell you guys. I probably should, because you guys are the ones who are watching this live stream. And like, if you're watching this live stream, you deserve to know. I'm not going to be on money talks anymore. That is, some of you probably know that because, so me and Tom launched a new podcast called Can You Learn to Speak, My Guy? I know, it's the stupidest thing ever, right? It's so stupid. It's called Can You Learn to Speak, My Guy? Okay, I haven't really talked about it on the channel yet, but we did this podcast, and we already have 1,060 subscribers. That's pretty dope. So me and Tom are starting a podcast. It's going to be every Sunday. Can You Learn to Speak, My Guy? It's going to be live streamed around 2 p.m. Eastern every Sunday. I'm not going to be on Money Talks anymore. Now, you might be asking, why are you not going to be on Money Talks anymore? Shout out to Emmanuel in the chat. What's up, what's up, what's up? The reason I'm not going to be on Money Talks anymore is because they are going with a new host. Everything is fine between me and Tom. We love each other. We started an entire podcast together. This was, I'll just say, not really Tom's decision. I'll put it at that. And they're trying out something new. So, was the Fight Club hate? The Fight Club hate lost me my job. No, man, look, at the end of the day, we already said this on the podcast, so I think I can say it here. Justin wanted a different direction of the show, and I disagree with his direction, but it's his show at the end of the day. I came in as a host. I think when I came in, ultimately it was a question of, could you make the show watchable, more fun, entertaining? Could you moderate the discussion? Could you add some of your insight? Stuff that a host really needs to be able to do, and could you do it in a way where the audience doesn't hate you? And I think after the first couple episodes, just by the pure comments, we saw that it was a decent hit. I'll finish this in 2 minutes, and then I'll get back to the market open. But at the end of the day, he wanted to go a different direction. Not Tom. He wanted to go a different direction. And so they went a different direction. I can't do anything about it. Now, personally, I think content chemistry is very hard to do. I think all of you guys know it's really difficult to get people to watch content and actually come back every day. It's these major media companies spend hundreds of millions of dollars trying to figure out like when they make a sitcom or some shit for ABC, it takes so much energy just to put something on screen that is meaningful. And I think we all kind of made something within a month that was pretty good. I mean, we're reaching 30,000 people a day. But I guess some people want to go a different direction. So that's what it is. No hate to Justin. That's his choice. It's his show. He wants to do what he wanted to do. It gives me a lot more time to focus on my other stuff. A couple announcements. So that new pod I'm starting with Tom. I'm also starting another podcast with ticker symbol U. We have an exclusive podcast coming out on his channel, and that'll be coming out next week. So I do have 2 new podcasts that I'm doing, and it gives me a lot more time to work on my startup. And I have some news on my startup that I'll talk about in 5 minutes. I'll go back to the morning open. So that's what's happening. That's where it is. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so that's it. At least you guys know now. At least the OG 100 of you actually know what's going on, because I know a lot of people have been asking me, and I'm like, here's the truth. This is what's happening. Let's go to Apple. Now, the reason I'm interested in Apple's at 136. Okay, now Apple was at 130 or 129, right? It hit the low. What? Where did Tesla? Wow, Tesla just went to 701. This was 714. Okay, well, Tesla just dropped. Palantir just dropped. This is nasty. The whole market just dropped a little bit. Now it's only it's only 1%, but the whole market just dropped a little bit. Anyway, I'm interested in Apple. Look, Mark Zuckerberg just gave an interview. The reason I'm interested in Apple is Zuckerberg just gave an interview. I'm going to be doing a reaction to it later with Jim Cramer, where he's talking about their next S-curve and their ability to open up the metaverse to the masses. He thinks there will be 1 billion people in the metaverse by 2030, and they will be spending hundreds of dollars each on digital goods. Now, that is incredibly interesting to me because it's a bold vision, and it's not something I can say is totally wrong, right? Now, Meta's stock has not been benefiting from that analysis. Investors aren't buying it. But it's not that... Look, if they can get the glasses down to be like sunglasses, and it's not this clunky-ass thing, which I think in the next 5, 6, 7 years, they're going to get it to at least be less clunkier, then I could imagine putting on sunglasses and entering into that immersive experience. I was listening to Palmer Arnold, who's the CEO of Oculus, who sold it to Zucks, and the CEO of Anduril, talk last night. And Jay Powell speaking in 15 minutes. Okay, cool. Oh, the ticker symbol U Palantir news came out? Did it already come out yet? I gotta check it out. I actually don't know what he's doing yet. So the idea that you could, and whatever his name is, the Palmer Luckey, I think that's his name. His argument was that if you can put on those glasses and you can get into the metaverse, and you can have a fully immersive experience without having this clunky headset, it is the next wave of computing, and it's going to be big. Because like we all like watching a YouTube video is amazing, but imagine you're watching a vlog of someone being in France, and then you turn on your glasses and you're literally in France, and it's not just like you're in France and it's kind of fuzzy, but it's like 4K. You're in there. You can walk around. Like the amount of content people would be able to immerse themselves in inside this virtual world, if it was easy to access, is unlimited. Like it's just like YouTube. Like the amount of videos you can watch are unlimited. Now the amount of like positions you can put yourself in the metaverse are absolutely unlimited. The question becomes if the technology can get up there to be able to do that. That's the question. And so we're going to be able to see if that happens. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing, and so that's why I feel like I get bullish on Meta because I'm like, wow, what if they do that? But I'm also like, it's gonna be really hard to get the tech to be that amazing, and like that's the problem here, because the idea does sound pretty cool, but the tech to get there is kind of hard. Now, a couple things from Tesla, and then I want to talk about United. Tesla said, he had a new interview, or Musk said, that their factories in Berlin and Texas are gigantic money furnaces. You gotta love him for being honest, but you also gotta be like, man, there's some things we just wish you just did not say. Tesla's factories in Texas and Berlin are losing billions of dollars right now as supply chain disruptors hamper the electric vehicle's giant's ability to ramp up production. Both Berlin and Austin factories are gigantic money furnaces right now. It should be like a giant roaring sound, which is the sound of money on fire. He said some of the tools required to make some cars are stuck in a port in China. So I think this is another reason. Maybe we're seeing a little bit of Tesla dip. Now the market in general is just tanking a little bit right now. Yeah, down 1%. Look, about to go under 700. But I mean, he's being honest, right? He's just like, look, we don't make money off these things. We have to figure out how to monetize them in a meaningful way. And until we do that, they are gigantic money furnaces. Right now. Musk said the Texas factory is losing insane money at the moment because of troubles ramping up production for cars with the so-called 4680 battery, their latest technology. Shanghai is still giving them difficulties. Look, Q2 earnings is not going to be fun for Tesla. Let me just be honest about that. And as a result of it not being fun for Tesla, we might be able to expect a dip. But the question is the macro as well. Has inflation gone down by July when they do their earnings? Because inflation went up this month. If it doesn't go down and the earnings are bad, it would be a little wild. Just sit close to the computer screen. It's not like inventing the sliced bread again. Yeah, well, it's not just about sitting close to the computer screen. It's about like you're inside of that world. Just like I don't know, you're in the video. Like if we're man, I get it. It might not be the next biggest thing since sliced bread, but it also might be. And that's why I like it. Now, am I bullish enough to bet the farm on it like Zuck's putting $10 billion in it? No. No, probably not. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. When is the Twitter deal happening? Well, the good thing is no one knows. Now the Twitter board unanimously approved the deal for Elon. This happened. Let's go to Twitter stock. This happened about 2 days ago because they all want their 5420. And they kind of gave him all the information about the bots he was looking for. So I think Musk might have to cough up that 54. I mean, it's going to take months and months and months of legal stuff. He already met with all their employees, right? So like he's done a lot of that work. The question is, does he want to pay $44 billion for this thing? Like, I don't know. I don't know if you want to pay that much. Bitcoin at 20 grand. It hit below 19 or hit below 20 yesterday, going into the 19-ish range. So now it is back up above 20. So it hit 21,390 a couple days ago, and now it's at 27.28. And Bitcoin's doing a little bit better. Thoughts on Meta? Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could whether that they didn't stop to think if they should. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people don't like the way Meta operates, and this is what he said on Jim Cramer, right? He was talking to Jim Cramer, and he was basically talking about how their AI algorithms are now going to be the basis for determining content. He says they have the best AI on the planet, and or they're making the best AI on the planet, and that Instagram is changing from your social and friends graph more to a graph that is rooted in your actual AI-based recommendations, which is basically what TikTok does, right? So that's their answer to TikTok, because they realize people don't want to see their friends anymore. They want to see random people's content, which is great for creators, but that's how they're ultimately going to be competing with TikTok. So from the AI perspective, I think the researchers at Meta are doing a lot to try to be able to create like really, really strong, sophisticated AI recommendations. And ultimately, we'll see where that goes. Amit, do you have any index funds, or are you all in on Palantir and your startup? Okay, so I should probably give you guys some news on my startup. So for those who are here, 146 of you, a decent amount of you probably knew that I was talking to a VC firm and that I was in contacts with potentially getting a deal done for a decent chunk of money and having my round completely closed out. Well, I got an answer a couple days ago. The answer was that they're not closing out my round. So that's the harsh reality of what you got to be able to deal with. Look, it was really weird because I've been in meetings where meetings go bad, and this meeting was not one of those meetings. I mean, this is a meeting that was like, yes, it's hard because I'm biased because I'm there, but I've been in really crappy meetings. These meetings were just like, I mean, quite literally, they were saying, hey, we're going to close out your round. This is what they said the first meeting we met in person. Second meeting I thought was great. And then they ghosted me for 2.5 weeks, which is just like, it sucked, man, because for 2.5 weeks, I was an anxious mess. And then they respond and they're like, hey, yeah, we think you're too early for us. And I'm just like, oh boy. I mean, what happened to me is the market crashed the week they responded. Like, it crashed really bad when S&P was at like 365. So I think, you know, they're thinking it's not a lot of money to them. It's a couple $100,000. But at the end of the day, every penny counts in a recession. And if a recession is coming, you really don't want to put money into something that's relatively unproven like a startup, which I guess. But it was annoying, man. It was really, really annoying because it's like they led you on for 2.5 weeks, you know? That's the annoying part. It's like these motherfuckers. And that's when as soon as I got the email, I kind of knew what was going to happen, because it's no one who's... Here's the one thing I absolutely learned about business. No one who's interested will take 2.5 weeks to respond to you. It's just that simple. No one who's interested in anything you're doing will take 2.5 freaking weeks. They're not doing due diligence for 2.5 weeks, all right? It's not some $1 billion deal. This is like... So... As soon as I got that email, before I even clicked on it, I knew this was going to be a rejection. So when I saw the rejection, I was like, okay. As soon as I saw the rejection, I was like, these motherfuckers are going to be fucking, they're going to be fucking scared when they realize what they've passed up on. You know? They should give you capital on your work ethic alone. Yeah, so like, here's the thing, Bald Watch Collector. I've seen people raise money, and I've seen startups raise money that are pre-product, and they're raising $500,000. And let's say they're not even from Harvard and Stanford. Let's say they don't have the best connections, but they still figured out how to raise money. And so the personal thing that hurts is like, you just put in so much work to convince them of this vision and this idea and this concept, and you have actual users and you have growth and you have this and you have a whole fucking product built out. You're not even taking a salary from the money you're raising because you saved up enough. You have so many bullish positive reasons for them to say yes to something that's pennies for them. And then on top of that, the work ethic, I mean, I think they saw it, right? I leveraged a lot of my relationships with some of the other bigger YouTubers in the space to show that I was able to work my way up to like do something really big. I mean, we have a lot of big YouTubers investing as well. I can't say their names yet. You guys probably know who they are. But like, I showed them like, hey, I convinced these people to put in $25,000. Like, you give them so many reasons, and you think you got something done, and then they're just like, yeah, no. And it's just like, this is where you have to understand what it means to be persistent. Like, it's the nature of, okay, the door opened and then the door got shut in my face, and then the door opened again and got shut in my, and then it opened and got shut in my face. So like, what do? Well, you break down the fucking door. You stop knocking. You do it your own way. And this is the reason I love YouTube. It's like, if you want to be a creator and entertainer, you either go through some Hollywood casting director agent, which is the institutional way, or you just fucking penetrate and you get 154 people to care about you in the morning. And so, you know, nothing has changed in terms of my plans with the startup. We had a decent amount of money raised, to be honest. So the VC deal came out of nowhere, because I had given up on VC funding like about 7-8 months ago, because I just realized that like they're just not going to fund us. Like, you need to have immense amount of growth, no matter how much they say we love to back ideas that are, you know, ideas before they're ideas. It's all bullshit unless you are from Harvard or Stanford. Like, I have a lot to say about this because I've been through the process. I've actually been through it. The only way you raise money for something is if you get a lot of people to care about what you're talking about, and you develop an emotional relationship connection with them, and they're willing to put in not $300,000 but maybe a couple $1,000 or maybe $1,000 to support your vision. And I think crowdfunding is kind of the way you ultimately do it, which was the inevitable plan. Just raising money from angel investors and hopefully crowdfunding the rest of the money. The VC deal came out of nowhere just because the opportunity popped up 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, let me take this meeting. I took the meeting. The meeting was phenomenal. Second meeting, phenomenal. And then you get ghosted for 2.5 weeks because obviously they have no concern for your time, which is the shittiest thing that VCs do. But the show goes on. You know, it's like you're sad about it for a day, and then the show goes on. It's like this is the nature of being a founder, right? It's like, okay, motherfucker, just wait. Just fucking wait. Just fucking wait. There's a good song by Kanye West called Can't Tell Me Nothing. And one day they're not going to be able to tell me nothing. There's going to be, I should probably tell you, Tom is investing, right? Like I want to say this. So Tom is investing, and we were doing our investment interview. Because basically what I'm doing is I'm interviewing every investor who invested, and I'm putting it out on YouTube to like show people why these people are invested. Some of them are a little bit more big YouTubers. Some of them are just like regular people. And I asked him, and he was just like, yo, I think there's some people that are going to be very sad that they ghosted you. And that's my job over the end of the day, to get these people to really be fucking afraid that they ghosted me. And to give you some context about this, and I'll say this for like 2 more minutes, then we'll get back to the market open. I hope you guys are okay with me talking about this. The 159 of you I know are probably OGs for the channel, so I guess you guys probably appreciate me speaking about this. Airbnb, let me pull it up actually. Let me show you this shit. Airbnb got rejected. I'm not saying we're Airbnb, okay? I'm just saying as a metaphor, Airbnb got rejected like 18 times. They were trying to raise $150,000 at a $1.5 million valuation. That means you could have bought 10% of Airbnb for $150,000. Look at this right here. You guys can see the screen, right? Yeah, okay. So this is an article written by Brian Chesky, the CEO, on June 26, 2008. And by the way, they were trying to raise during a recession as well, which is why I'm trying to raise during a recession. So it's like kind of like, I've kind of seen the similarities. Our friend Michael Siebel introduced us to 7 prominent investors in Silicon Valley. We were attempting to raise $150 at a $1.5 million valuation. That means the company Airbnb, that's valued at like $100 billion today, was worth $1.5 million. Like, if you had even put in 10 grand in this shit, you would have like 1,000 extra investment or some shit. This means for $150,000, you could have bought 10% of Airbnb. Below, you will see 5 rejections. The other 2 did not reply. The way they got funding was they went through Y Combinator, and they had to like claw their way into Y Combinator. For those that don't know what it is, it's a incubator for startups. So look at this. Thank you for the introduction, Brian. Good to meet you. While this sounds interesting, it is not something we would do here, not in our area of focus. Wish you best of luck. Hi, Brian. Apologies for the delayed response. We had a chance to discuss internally and unfortunately don't think it's the right opportunity. From an investment perspective, the potential market opportunity did not seem large enough for our required model. I heard that from a lot of people as well. Brian, I ran this by my partner. First, it's not in our prime 5 target market, so it's our long shot for our involvement. Also, since it's not an area, since we're currently investing, getting us involved doesn't give you the expertise that would be best for our company. My recommendation is to keep us posted. They always want to keep posted. If you get to the point of Series A investment, please let us know and we'll take a look. Brian, thanks for the follow-up. I was unable to get on the call today, and I'll be out of town throughout the end of Thursday. I really like the progress you guys made, but between issues outstanding with Airbnb and my current time commitment to other projects, specifically existing investments, I'm not able to proceed with an investment at this point. My biggest concerns are technical staffing, investment syndicate, and how do you get traction. Brian, we decided yesterday to not take this to the next level. We've always struggled with the travel as a category, recognized it's one of the top e-commerce categories, but for some reason, we've never been able to get excited about travel and business. So he said, next time you have an idea and it gets rejected, I want you to think of these emails. Now, I'm not saying that every idea is Airbnb level and like if you get rejected to just like, you know, think of yourself as the next Airbnb. What I am saying is if you have traction, you have an idea, you have a goal, you have a vision, you have a purpose, you usually need money to make it happen in the world. And the problem is there are institutional gatekeepers that have big amounts of money and you've got to, for lack of a better word, get on your knees to get these guys to like believe in you. And you can only do it so far until the point where you realize these motherfuckers are not going to get it. They're just not going to get it. And I got to go a different way. And so you got to go to the people. You got to go to the people. So many people fail, use the fuel of the chip on a shoulder put by their people who said no. Amit is going to use this fuel to succeed and prove this idea. I know it. Yeah, man, look, like chip on your shoulder. And to be honest, I was talking with my mom the other day about it. And she was just like, what you're doing is so cool because, you know, my parents are immigrants. They never heard of a startup, never heard of raising money. And we raised about $250,000 so far, right? So like, there's like, you got $250,000. How'd you do this? And she's like, you're putting so much pressure on yourself and you're not taking a conventional path because like, let's say you're going to get a PhD. At the end of the day, there is a path to get the PhD, right? You go to fucking school, you do the essays or whatever. It's hard. It's not like it's easy, but like the success rate is upwards of 90% because all you got to do is finish the shit. The success rate of this is upwards of like 5% because you've got to convince the world of this concept, and you've got to amalgamate people to actually care about it. It's one of the most, it's the most difficult thing to do in the world. It's like really difficult. And she was like, you're putting all this pressure on yourself at 24. And she was saying it in a positive way. She was just like, it's so different. She was like, the only thing you got to promise me is if it doesn't work, I don't want you to be depressed, right? And that's why I'm saying my mom's the most supportive person in the world. Like, she literally doesn't care if it fails. She just wants me to keep my head up high, and she's just so happy that I'm trying because she wanted to do a lot of her dreams when she was little, and her dad kind of didn't let her. So she's obsessed with the process of just trying at the end of the day. That's pretty much it. I'm going through the comments. Blah, 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 blah. So are you going back to your old job? What's the plan, bro? No. So we've raised enough money to the point where I do not have to go to my job for the next 2 years. I'm about to get back into the stock market in a second. And we're doing a crowdfund, right? So I believe that we're going to be able to we're trying to raise 500. The way I think of it is like we need 200 people to give $1,000. That's it. And I'm like, if a couple thousand people see the content, see the startup, see the pitch, I'm not pitching it today. It's going to be launching mid-July. If anyone's interested in investing, email amit@dailypalantir, .com. The startup has nothing to do with Palantir. It's a technology company. That's just the email that I use. You can invest before we launch publicly in the crowdfund. I can send you the pitch deck, all that stuff. So if anyone is interested at all, email me, let me know. The way you can invest as little as $100 because of the platform that we're using. It's called wefunder.com. The way I think about it is like, all right, how much money do we need? We got 250. We need another 250 to complete 500. Well, what if we just ask 100 people to give us a couple $1,000 or 200 people to give us $1,000? Like, it's very real. You can do that, right? The internet is big and people can buy your ideas. People can believe in your concepts. And so that's the way I'm thinking of ultimately finishing this crowdfunding, which was the plan from the beginning. But, that's what you got to do. Nothing beats support from immigrant parents. That itself is a blessing. Yeah, man. I mean, like, my mom is different than other Indian parents. If Meta's down, by the way, another little bit more. Palantir, recovered a little bit. My mom is different from other Indian parents because she's just different, bro. Most Indian parents would not let you take the risk to go do something with a 90% chance of failure because they would just be too scared for you. And my mom has never tried to control me, bro. She's just been like, just do what you got to do. And I kind of proved to her. I mean, I started a business when I was in college that was decently successful. I've really never borrowed money from my parents for like the last 7-8 years. I've just been paying everything. Like, I've just been able to make money, right? So now I'm like, all right, I was able to be a pretty successful entrepreneur from my standards, right? Not making hundreds of thousands, but a decent amount of money in college just because I like monetized a bunch of my skill sets. Now I'm trying to take it to the next level, which is tech. And building tech is like, we're talking about billions, but like there's a lot of work to get to those billions. But you have to have a track record of being able to like prove to your peers and your family that you're worth being able to go on that journey and take that risk. And she just believes that. And so that's what we're doing. Can you make a full video of your startup, full detail, and write your email in the description? So first of all, let me put my email in the description right here. I do have a full video for it. I can't share it. It's kind of like legal reasons, guys, why I can't talk about it right now because the crowdfund isn't legally launched, which is why I can't give you the pitch right here, right? So I will do the pitch live mid-July once it's officially public. The reason I can send you it privately is because if you reach out, then I'm able, it's like stupid legal stuff. I'm able to like send you the information. So if anyone reaches out, I made a whole video about it. It's an 11-minute video. You can watch it. It's private on YouTube. So like that's why I can send it to you. And I can send you the pitch deck, all that other stuff. Tom Nash is investing. Yes. I mean, like that's pretty obvious by now. He's investing $25K. So, and we talked about it. I did a whole interview asking him why he's investing. Bro, that interview is so funny. Like the first question was like, so why are you giving a 24-year-old who's relatively unproven $25,000? He was like, yeah, I want to renege the deal. Can I get out of it? Can I Elon Musk this shit? It was hilarious. But I did the whole interview kind of like talks through why he ultimately made the investment. And he was a pretty big teddy bear in that interview. He had some nice words. So I think you guys will get to see why some of the people are investing. It's a fun journey though, man. It's a fun. We talk about these. Look at these big companies: Roku, Apple, Google, Twitter, Meta. They all started with some person who had the idea for them, right? And I know they're huge, big tech. I mean, Tesla is the perfect example. I'm obviously not saying I'm the next Tesla. I'm just saying, like, they all started with some guy or girl who was like, I kind of think the world needs this. And in the face of, that's why when you look at the story of Tesla and Elon, you can't be like competition. You can't be like, oh my goodness, other people are going to crush you. Or there's every single obstacle you could imagine was in Tesla's way. And they were building electric cars. They were not building, it was not like, whatever you're building is probably not going to be not as hard as electric cars. And they still managed a way. They still figured it out. And so the beautiful thing is, like, if you can just keep going, but the problem is you need some money to do that, right? And Tesla was on the verge of bankruptcy a lot of times. And like, we don't need a lot of money, but we do need some money. And if we can raise the money, then we're gonna be on the mission. And then it's ultimately a guess of like, can I get the world to care? Can I get people in the world to genuinely care about my idea and my concept? And I think I can. And I think I've got a plan to get people to care. And when I scale that, it's just a question of how big can it get. And if it gets pretty fucking big, then it gets pretty fucking big. But all these companies start with one person deciding that they can fucking do it and that no one's going to fucking stop them. Like, no one's going to stop them at all. Chris, what's up? What's up? Happy to see you in the chat. Hero Dapper for spam. I don't even check the spam some of these times. I need to make some more of you guys mods. If anyone wants to be mod, let me know. Not sure if you can answer here, but is platform expansion currently limited filled? Wondering if driving account growth will go viral. Yes. And Everclear, if you email me, I can give you some more details about that. But yes, 100%. 100% on that. In terms of the account growth to virality. Are you selling dress shirts? Yo, I got some dope. Yo, okay, hold on. Everyone, there's 198 of you. Everyone has to stay here for like 10 seconds. I'm getting a shirt out of my closet. Do not leave for 10 seconds. Okay? This shirt I ordered yesterday. You've got to see this shirt. Do not leave for 10 seconds. All right, I'll be right back. Don't leave. Do not leave. All right. Are you guys ready to see the shirt? Are you guys ready? The shirt's about to be lit. Wow, 10 of you left, bro. What the? I said wait a couple seconds. Goodness. Oh man, this is the YouTube thing, man. People gotta stay. All right, here we go. You guys ready? Hold on, let me make sure you can see this. Tell me this shirt isn't fire, bro. Tell me this shirt is not fire. Incoming call. Money. Not last week though, when I got rejected by the VCs. That incoming call was rejection, not money. But still, it's a dope shirt, right? It's a dope shirt. Some of you guys are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 blah. Yep, see, everyone, fashion. Tell me this is not a dope shirt, bro. I got it off this website called Shein, okay? So I don't know if you guys heard of this shit. Some Chinese, and the quality's pretty good. Like, it's not crappy quality. Now, we'll see if it shrinks in the washing machine. But it was like less than $10, bro. I'm like, how am I getting this for less than $10? It's pretty dope. It's pretty cool. Now, I got a bunch of shirts from them for like $80, but this was one of the cooler ones. I gotta wear this one day when we raise the 500,000. I gotta wear this the day I launch the crowdfund and just hope to God people invest in the startup and put some money in, and then I'll be like, yeah, the incoming call was money. It was like $10. Yeah, it was fire. Money is calling. So I like stuff like that, right? I like wearing stuff like that. Now these shirts, I don't know why people hate on them so much. I got them from Macy's for like a pretty good deal. And like someone said on the podcast with Tom, they were like, "Hey, did you get that shirt in like the women's aisle?" And I was just like, "No, it was in the man's aisle. Like, why does it feel like a woman just because it has flowers on? Like, why? I like this shirt." Did your mom buy you that? No, my mom was so mad, bro. When this thing came out, my mom got so pissed off when she saw this shirt. She's like, "Why the hell did you buy this shirt?" And she was like, not because of the quality or not because of the substance of it. She was just like, "It's from China. Like, you know it's bad quality." And I was like, "Yeah, Mom, but it was cheap." So that's why I got it. All right, like 40 people left, so they obviously didn't like my stuff talking about Shein. Let's talk some more stuff about Palantir. Black Sky Technology just got a 5-year, $240 million deal. I did an article about it on dailypalantir.com. I updated a bunch of articles on the website last night. So we have, one, did Google partner with the most evil company in the world? Palantir received 3 patents. Also, let's go through their patents. Palantir did receive 3 new patents. I want to at least go through some of these and see what they said. So there is a Twitter account that found a lot of these patents, and that's what they did. Should have a Palantir shirt and have it say something like "Talk Palantir" with a mitt and your link. That would be kind of cool. Bro, it's because you do the top collar button. Look, the top collar button to me is like part of my existence, okay? It's something that like I need to do. I don't know why people don't do the top collar button. Like those who don't are kind of weird to me. I kind of like the top collar button. Okay. So here are the patents by Palantir. Systems and methods are provided to retrieve or analyze usage data collected from a device or facility where the device optionally with the device are located and identify useful features for making a diagnosis of the device. No one knows what the hell that means, but they got the patent for that. Second one, a system comprising of a computer-readable storage medium storing at least one program and a method for integrating collaborative spreadsheet data into one or more network applications is presented. Spreadsheet data and an application data scheme are accessed. The spreadsheet data corresponds to a spreadsheet having one or more validation rules. The application data scheme comprises a set of constraints on it. See, no one knows what this means, but they got the patent for that. Next one, system computing storage media and methods for real-time rendering based on efficient device and serving process of content updates. One of the methods includes presenting user interface information that includes multiple visual portions associated with an input of. So this is more like a front end. This seems like a more visual based patent. It's hard to imagine how they're getting this type of patent, but they applied for it in 2018. No one really knows what it means, but they got the patent. So Palantir now has 3 patents. They have 3 patents now. Amit is covering up that neck tattoo. Yep, that's basically what I'm doing. This mean ass neck tattoo that I have. Let's go to Palantir. We're at I clicked on Path and I thought this was Palantir and I saw 2034 and my heart first I was like, what? Did we just go up 100% out of nowhere? Palantir's at 920. Hitting 10 would be really awesome, but it's gonna take a while for us to hit 10. It's not pink, it's salmon. That's true. It's not pink, it's salmon. You can't hate on China quality. They make some decent stuff if you're willing to pay for it. Yeah, I agree. And I mean, this stuff was pretty cheap, but it's pretty still decent quality. I think they're taking a loss on the clothes, or they're selling so much in bulk that it doesn't create a loss for them. Somehow it's profitable. But I'm just like, I don't know how I'm getting this stuff for this cheap, bro. It's kind of wild. Granted, it's probably not the best stuff to buy, but it is what it is for now. Pinterest is a stock I've been thinking about for a while. I don't know. So let me show you guys a couple of analytics on Pinterest. If we go to similarweb.com, they track a lot of this stuff. If we go to Pinterest, they are doing a decent amount of traffic. I think it's upwards, close to 1 billion. 945 million people used Pinterest in the month of April. One of my friends actually opened up a e-commerce store and they drove traffic from Pinterest one day and one of their pins went viral or something and they got like 2,000% more traffic on their website than they would have before. So Pinterest is a really interesting thing for me. The problem is like digital ad spending is going to get worse over the next couple of probably months with the recession. Maybe that doesn't happen if the recession is not that bad. But if digital ad spending is not going to be that great, like are marketers really going to trust Pinterest over Google and Facebook where they have the more pristine targeting? But it's always been a stock that's been very interesting to me as like this thing that's like decently like you could say not. It's one of those things where it's on the market and most people don't talk about it, which is why it might be a sleeper. I got an Apollo City 2022 electric scooter that was made in China for a Canadian company called Apollo. It is the single most baddest thing I've ever purchased. China can make high quality. Yeah, I agree. China can definitely make high quality. It's just a question of making sure you get the right people when you're buying from China. I use Pinterest every day. Interesting. All right, so some people use Pinterest every day. It's popular. Amit, let's talk about housing. Well, Chris, housing's in a bubble. First of all, I did a market open with Chris this Monday. It seems like forever ago. It was this Monday. And Chris basically laid out for why the housing market is going to crash. Now, let's look at some articles here. Hopefully this is not under a paywall. It's not. Okay, let's go to Fortune. Housing market labeled high risk of a home price drop just spiked 73%. Find your local market, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the U.S. housing market is slowing. A combination of record appreciation in home prices, which jumped 37%. This is what Chris was talking about over the past 2 years, and spiking mortgage rates, which is not a good combination to have spiking mortgage rates and less and more appreciation for homes and less supply, because that means that houses are way too expensive to buy and there's no reason to take a 30-year 6.5% mortgage or whatever. We're staring down the sharpest decline in housing activity since 2006. I've got some more info. I'm free this morning. Okay, Chris, I probably can't do it this morning, but either tomorrow I'm free, Friday, or a little bit later in the day tomorrow, just because I have a shit ton of other meetings to get to. Are cholos based only on the West Coast? Might be. I've heard that word before. It might be. While it's fair to call this shift a housing correction, it is far too early to call this a housing bust or housing crash. Right now, we're watching the U.S. housing market try to find equilibrium in spiking mortgage rates. If things do get messy, the Federal Reserve could always step in and once again put downward pressure on mortgage rates. Here's the thing about the Fed stepping in. Like, are they going to be able to step in? Which is what Chris was talking about. That could they step in or could they not step in? Like, it's going to be harder for them to step in. Especially with inflation and interest rates the way they are. Like, ultimately, you've got to destroy demand for this stuff to go down, and the way to destroy demand is to keep mortgage rates high because then people just don't want to buy. But that's inevitably going to lead to a housing crash. House values will crash, right? It doesn't take a genius to figure this stuff out that it's happening, right? It's hard to do for the stock market, but for the housing market, there's some very easiest bubbles here. There's another big bubble I discovered. All right, me and Chris will be talking soon. There's another big housing bubble that he has discovered. Housing market won't crash. Demand will just temper. Homeowners are locked into fixed interest rates and won't be affected. Yeah, well, the people who are locked into their original interest rates are unaffected. I agree. But the houses that you're paying $800,000 for that are worth $400,000, those are coming back to normal, right? Which I guess if that's the version of a crash you want to call it, then that's a crash. But house prices are not going to stay this high. I think that's the core argument that we're talking about. Which means it's probably a good time to wait if you're buying a house. My parents got lucky. They bought it December 2020. We got a really good deal on the house we bought. But we had to be quick and take decisive action at that moment, because if we had waited a couple months, or if we had waited till now, we would just not have gotten that house that we got. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for joining the Market Open. Thank you guys so much for listening to the 150 of you that stayed through me talking about my personal life. Really, really appreciate it. Big stuff planned for July in terms of my startup. I'm going to be very excited to unleash it to the world and get the world to see and understand what we're doing. Hope everyone's doing well. A lot more videos coming out today about some different things. DailyPalantir.com if you guys want to check out any new articles that are being published. I'm going to be putting out a bunch of new articles today. Email amit@dailypalantir.com if you're interested in any information around the startup. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you have a good day. The market's been relatively green this week. I mean, it's a bull week. You know, instead of Palantir going at 7:30, it's at 9:20. We're going to see how the market closes. We're going to see how it closes tomorrow on Friday. And basically keep it going from there and see what ends up happening. That's pretty much it. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.